Hello students, welcome to online session of Standard 8th History. Today we are going to learn chapter number 13, Fulfillment of Struggle for Independence. Students, in previous chapter we studied as per the Indian Independence Act, India was granted independence on 15th August 1947. India achieved independence, but the struggle for independence was not yet over. There were many princely states in India. These princely states had the right either to merge with India or remain independent. Students, as we have studied in previous chapter, Indian Independence Act provided the right to princely states to either join India or Pakistan or remain independent. In this lesson, we will study about the struggle of merging the princely states, and also we will study about the merging of the Portuguese and French colonies with India, as the Portuguese and French powers had not withdrawn their control over some parts of India, but the country solved these problems very firmly. So, let us begin with the chapter and learn about the integration of princely states in India. The political awakening had begun amongst the princely states due to the non-cooperation movement. Organizations were formed to work for the interest of the people in princely states and also for securing political rights for them. This organization was known as Praja Mandal. In 1927, Praja Mandals established an All India States People's Conference. Due to this organization, the movement in princely states got an encouragement and strength. To merge the princely states with India, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, the then Home Minister, took the rulers of princely states into confidence and prepared an instrument of accession acceptable to all. Instrument of accession was a document wherein a ruler of a princely state could give away his kingdom into the Federation of India. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel convinced the rulers of the princely states about the benefit of the merging with India. The rulers gave good response to his appeal. All the princely states merged into India except the state of Junagadh, Hyderabad and Kashmir. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel took a firm stand and solved the issue of the merger of princely states. Now first we will learn about the merging of Junagadh. Junagadh was a princely state in Saurashtra. The people there wanted to be merged with India, but the Nawab of Junagadh was thinking to join Pakistan. The people strongly opposed his decision because they wanted to merge with India and not with Pakistan. And then the Nawab left for Pakistan. Later, in February 1948, Junagadh got merged into India. Students, when did Junagadh merged with India? In February 1948, Junagadh, a princely state in Saurashtra, merged into India after the Nawab left for Pakistan. Hyderabad Mukti Sangram. Hyderabad was the largest princely state in India. Due to the oppressive rule of Nizam, there was absence of civil and political rights, and to secure these rights, the people formed organizations such as Andhra Parishad in the Telangana region, Maharashtra Parishad in the Marathwada region, Karnataka Parishad in the Karnataka region. The Nizam prohibited the Hyderabad State Congress formed by Swami Ramananda Tirtha in 1938. Therefore, Swami Ramanand Tirtha with his followers Narayan Reddy and Siraj ul Hasan Tirmidhi led a struggle for getting acceptance to Hyderabad State Congress and democratic rights. In July 1947, Hyderabad State Congress passed a resolution for merger of Hyderabad state into India, which was opposed by the Nizam. Instead, he started making movements for merging of Hyderabad state with Pakistan. Qasim Rizvi, an associate of the Nizam, formed an organization known as Razakar to reject the demand of people of Hyderabad to be merged with India. Qasim Rizvi and his associates not only oppressed the Hindus but also the Muslims who supported the democratic movement. Due to it, there was inflammation of public opinion. People of Hyderabad never wanted to join Pakistan. They demanded to merge with India. Therefore, the government of India tried to talk patiently with the Nizam, but he refused to respond. At last, on 13th September 1948, the Indian government started the police action against the Nizam. It was symbolically named as Operation Polo. On 17 September 1948, finally the Nizam surrendered. The struggle of people in the princely state became successful. Students, now we will learn about the contribution of the people of Marathwada in the freedom struggle movement of Hyderabad state. In this struggle, Swami Ramanand Tirth, Govindbhai Shroff, Anand Bhalerao, Ashatai Wagmare, etc. made a valuable contribution. Even students participated in the struggle for liberation of Hyderabad through the movement of Vande Mataram. Similarly, in this struggle, Ved Prakash, Shamlal, Govind Pansare, Bahirji Shinde, Sridhar Vartak, Janardhan Mama, Shoaib Ullah Khan sacrificed their life for the liberation of Hyderabad. Therefore, 17 September is celebrated as Marathwada Mukti Din in Marathwada to remember the struggle for liberation of Hyderabad. Marathwada was not included in Free India on 15 August 1947. In 1948, Marathwada was included in the independent India. Students, as we have studied, Indian Independence Act provided princely states the right to either join India or Pakistan or to remain independent. Therefore, Hari Singh, the ruler of state of Kashmir, decided to remain independent. But Pakistan wanted to merge Kashmir with it, and due to this, Pakistan started putting pressure on Hari Singh and attacked Kashmir on October 1947. At that time, Hari Singh signed the Instrument of Accession with India. In this manner, after merging into India, Indian Army was sent for the defense of Kashmir. The army won back a major portion of Kashmir, but some part of it remained in the possession of Pakistan. Now, let us learn about merger of French colonies. Even after the independence of India, the regions of Chandranagar, Puducherry, Karaikal, Mahe and Yanam were under the control of French rulers. The Indian natives there were eager to merge with India. The Indian government demanded that these territories, being a part of India, should be handed over to India. In 1949, France held an election in Chandranagar where the people voted for India. Chandranagar was then handed over to India, and later France handed over the rest of territories to the government of India. In this way, French colonies got merged with India. Now, let us learn about the struggle for liberation of Goa. Students, Goa was under the control of Portuguese rulers and they denied to hand over the territories to India. Indians had to struggle for securing these territories. In this struggle, Dr. T.B. Kunha was in the forefront. He established the Goa Congress Committee. Later, in 1945, Dr. Kunha founded the organization Goa Youth League in Mumbai. In 1946, there was a ban on public speeches in Goa. Dr. T.B. Kunha violated the ban. He started giving public speeches, because of which he was sentenced to 8 years of imprisonment. He was put in the jail for 8 years. Then, in 1946, Dr. Ram Manohar Lohia started a satyagraha for the freedom of Goa. Even he violated the ban and delivered a public speech at Madgaon in Goa, and for this he was deported. Means he was forced to leave Goa. In the same period, Azad Gomantak Dal was formed to liberate Dadra and Nagar Haveli from the Portuguese rule. On 2nd August 1954, youths of Azad Gomantak Dal, that is Vishwanath Lavande, Rajabhau Wakankar, Sudhir Phadke, Nanasaheb Kajrekar and others, liberated the territories of Dadra and Nagar Haveli from the Portuguese rule by making an armed attack. And for the liberation of Goa in 1954, Goa Mukti Samiti was formed. This Samiti sent many batches of satyagrahis from Maharashtra to Goa. N.G. Gore, Senapati Bapat, Peter Alvarez, Mahadev Shastri Joshi and his wife Sudhatai and many others participated in the satyagraha. Mohan Ranade was the aggressive leader in this struggle for the liberation of Goa. On the other side, the Indian government was patiently trying to negotiate with the Portuguese government, but they did not respond. At the end, the Indian government unwillingly took the decision of using military force. In December 1961, the Indian army entered Goa, and within a short period of time, the Portuguese army surrendered. On 19 December 1961, Goa was liberated from the Portuguese rule. In this way, imperialism was completely rooted out from the Indian soil. India's freedom struggle was truly fulfilled.